So we've all had those days where we go into the gym and we're expecting to lift big weights, and for whatever reason it just doesn't go to plan. You could have ate right, you could have slept right, you could have planned everything perfectly, had a great pre-workout meal beforehand, but when you go in, things just don't go your way. You're in your warm-up sets, and for whatever reason the bar feels heavier, and as you add load, even though you do all your activation work, you do all the drills that you want to get your body feeling right, it's just not happening. Now, what the science behind this phenomenon, no one really knows, but from a psychological perspective, it's something that I've had to deal with countless times in my lifting career. Now, for anybody who does have these days, the thing that I want to emphasize is that they are perfectly normal. You know, you want to be having less of them than more of them, and if you're going into the gym and every time it's like this, then that does indicate there's an issue with either your diet or your recovery. However, when these things happen and everything is going to plan and these situations present themselves, I think that your attitude is really, really important in regards to your longevity and what you and where you take things from here. So the number one thing that I would say to think first is think logically, not emotionally. And the reason why I say that is that if we get emotionally involved with it, we can have like the rest of our day could be ruined. We could be rude to loved ones. We could be in really, really moody, and it could impact us on an emotional level, which is what we don't want. Logic tells you that first of all, these days just happen. It's part of life, and also if you haven't planned properly, so if stress is high, sleep is poor, and nutrition isn't on point, then it is logical that your performance is hindered in the gym. So the first one is always think logically, not emotionally. If you think emotionally, you're not in for a good time. The second thing is, could I hurt myself? Now this is very, very important. Now for me, I used to be massively into powerlifting numbers and percentages. So if it says you have to do 3 sets of 3 with 85% of your 1 rep max, I would lift 85% of my 1 rep max no matter what, and that just led to injuries. It led to poor movement patterns, frustrating sessions, and sessions that felt absolutely horrible. So if you're going into the gym and things aren't going your way, the thing you have to ask yourself is, am I going to hurt myself? Is there actually a risk that I'm going to force this overload so much that it's actually to detriment my body, and then I have to take 1 or 2 weeks off the gym because I can't lift anymore? So that is very, very important. Finally, the next point, and it's what carries on from point 2, is what am I actually enforcing? You know, we talk about progressive overload quite a lot, and we talk about its importance, but you got to think, if it's forcing it that much where we have to squirm and find the ways of getting these reps and really force it out, are we actually training a muscle? Are we actually training it properly for its biomechanical range? Are we actually ingraining a movement pattern that we want to do in competition? So therefore, we've got to think of it, anytime we go into the gym, we're practicing a movement. If we practice this movement poorly, we're just going to get better at a poor movement. So you got to think about what you're ingraining. So to summarize, it is completely normal to have your off days in the gym, and I think that it's just important that you have the right attitudes for when you do encounter them, so you don't have anything that could be a detriment to your future progression.